In the middle of the Atlantic Ocean lies one of the smallest countries in the world. It is a nation with an incredibly rich history, where ancient cultures have left their mark. From prehistoric temples older than the pyramids to centuries-old fortress cities. Once home to knights and traders, it is now a popular destination for travelers seeking sun, adventure, and history. It may be small, but it is bursting with breathtaking landscapes, culture, and a unique charm. Are you ready to discover this hidden gem in the Mediterranean? Welcome to Malta. I visited this archipelago at the end of February for about 4 days, but you could easily spend over a week here. Although the country has an incredibly rich history, it only became independent in 1964. Before that, from the year 1800, it was part of the United Kingdom. The influences from that period are still visible today. You drive on the left side of the road, English is widely spoken, and the iconic British telephone booths can still be seen in the streets. I started my journey on the east side in the village of Marsaxlokk, where you'll find St. Thomas Tower, built in 1614 by the Order of St. John. This tower is one of the largest watchtowers in Malta, and has a square shape with thick walls and gun ports. In the 18th century, an additional defensive wall with a moat was added. After restoration, this remarkable site will reopen to visitors in early 2025. The interior offers insights into Malta's history and its many defensive structures. You can take an elevator to the rooftop, which provides a stunning view of the surroundings and the adjacent abandoned hotel complex. Especially after the restoration, this is a must-visit attraction. During my trip, I'm staying in St. Paul's Bay, located in the northwest of the island. After a short evening stroll, I start the next morning in the neighboring town with the Xemxija Hill Heritage Walk, a historical trail that takes you past various archaeological and historical sites that are thousands of years old. One of these sites is a road that dates back to Roman times, but you'll also find prehistoric cave dwellings and tombs, as well as beehives carved into the rock walls. However, the most fascinating and mysterious features are the cart ruts, which can be found in various locations across Malta. No one knows their exact purpose or which civilization created them. Later, we'll come across even more of these intriguing sites. The route is a short walk that beautifully combines nature and history, making it accessible to many visitors. A bit further north, you'll find the Mistra Battery, a historic military fort located on the coast of Mistra Bay. Built in 1761, it served as coastal defense against invasions by the Ottomans and pirates. It is one of many historical structures that are not open to visitors, but its location along the bay and the presence of various military remnants, including those from World War II, make it a great spot for a scenic walk. Near this old fort, you'll find Selman Palace. Although it looks like a fortress converted into a palace, it was never originally a fort. It was built at least a century later and was rented out to the Knights of St. John, who used it as a country estate and hunting lodge. Unfortunately, after the closure of the nearby hotel, which included the palace, the entire complex has fallen into disrepair. From the north coast, I drive to the south coast of the island. Near the westernmost point, you'll find a unique village that was built in 1979 as a film set for the musical movie Popeye. The set consists of wooden houses and a small harbor, designed to resemble an old fishing village. After filming was completed, the village was preserved and transformed into a theme park. which is especially fun for children and for anyone who enjoys a unique experience on an old movie set. I continue my journey eastward, where, not far from the film set, I arrive at one of the most beautiful beaches on the island, Riviera Beach. Surrounded by cliffs, it offers a breathtaking landscape. But it's not just perfect for enjoying the beach. The small peninsula also features one of the most stunning short hikes. The route is about 2 kilometers long, with truly incredible views. At the start of the trail, you get a spectacular view of the bay, and by the end, you'll have a stunning sight of the unique clay cliffs of the neighboring Ramla Bay. These remarkable cliff formations make this one of the most photogenic spots in Malta. One of the most beautiful places in the country is Mdina, also known as the Silent City. Perched on a hill in the heart of Malta, this fortified city has a mysterious atmosphere that takes you back in time. Founded over 3,000 years ago, Mdina was later fortified by the Romans and the Arabs. For a long period, it even served as the capital. The impressive fortress walls still stand today, showcasing the architectural styles of centuries past. Thanks to its hilltop location, the city offers breathtaking panoramic views across almost the entire island. It's no surprise that this strategic spot was chosen for a fortress. Inside the city, several churches remain, including one with a remarkable oval dome, richly decorated with intricate details. Walking through the narrow streets, where medieval and Baroque buildings define the scenery, truly feels like stepping back in time. And when you see horses pulling small carriages through the winding alleys, it's as if you've wandered into an old fairy tale. From this point, I delve even deeper into the island's history. Earlier in the video, I showed an ancient cart rut, but there is an even more remarkable sight. Clapham Junction. It earned its name because it resembles the busy railway station in London. How these tracks were formed remains a mystery. Some ruts are up to 60 centimeters deep, while others lead straight into the sea. They are estimated to be around 7,000 years old, but who knows? They could be even older. This remains one of the island's greatest secrets. Who created them, and what was their purpose? The mysterious cart ruts found across the island are not the only enigma Malta holds. There are also several megalithic temples, with Ħaġar Qim being one of the best preserved prehistoric temples. This incredible site is believed to be at least 5,000 years old, making it the oldest freestanding stone structure in the world. The complex consists of multiple chambers and apses connected by a central passage. The stones were carefully crafted and decorated with intricate spiral patterns and carved circular shapes. It wasn't built at random. Its design includes astronomical features. The entrance is aligned so that during the summer solstice, the first rays of sunlight shine perfectly through an opening. Not far from this temple lies Mistra, another equally impressive structure. Some of the stones used in these temples weigh over 20 tons and were placed with astonishing precision. There are various theories about these temples and their original purpose. Were they used for ceremonial or spiritual rituals? No one knows for sure, but their mystery makes them all the more fascinating. If you want to explore Malta's deep history, these temples are an absolute must-visit. I end the day in the picturesque fishing village of Marsaxlokk, located in the southeast of Malta. This charming town is best known for its colorful lusu boats and is one of the best places to experience the authentic Maltese fishing culture. At the end of 1989, an important meeting took place in this bay between US President Bush and Soviet leader Gorbachev. This meeting, known as the Malta Summit, is often considered the symbolic end of the Cold War. Malta is an archipelago consisting of 3 inhabited islands. From the main island, which is home to around 500,000 people, I travel to the second largest island. With about 34,000 inhabitants, Gozo is much quieter and has a lot more nature to explore. For just a few euros, you can take the ferry across with your car, arriving at the port of Għajnsielem. Here, you'll find a unique park that is free to visit, a recreation of Bethlehem. The old houses, animals, ancient mills, and water features give you an impression of what life was like in historic Bethlehem. West of this town lies one of the island's most spectacular natural wonders, the Ċenċ Cliffs. These limestone cliffs rise up to 130 meters above the sea, making them the highest cliffs in the entire country. Due to their location, this is the perfect spot to watch the sunset, with the cliffs creating a stunning silhouette against the setting sun. If you visit the island, you simply can't miss the capital of Gozo. Vicoria, also known as Rabat, is a town full of history and charm. At its heart lies an impressive fortress, with traces of human habitation dating back to the Bronze Age. Over thousands of years, the fort was expanded and reinforced, first by the Phoenicians and Romans, later by the Arabs, and eventually by the Knights of St. John. Due to the constant threat of invasion, it was even legally required in the 17th century for Gozo's population to spend the night within the walls of the citadel. In recent centuries, the fortress has been restored, making it easily accessible to visitors. You can walk almost entirely along the fortress walls, which not only provide stunning views of the buildings within the citadel, but also offer a breathtaking panoramic view of nearly the entire island. As you explore the fortress, you can truly feel the rich history of this place, with its ancient structures, charming squares, and narrow alleyways. However, it's from the fortress walls that you truly grasp the scale and significance of this remarkable historical site. But it's not just the fortress that makes Vicoria worth a visit. The city itself is lively and full of charm. At its heart, you'll find Piazza Indipendenza, a square with inviting terraces and the Old Town Hall, built in a distinctive rounded Baroque style. Another highlight is the square featuring St. George's Basilica, a stunning church that adds to the city's historic atmosphere. Vicoria is a city you simply can't miss when visiting Gozo. From this beautiful city, I drive north and make my way up to a striking sculpture, the statue of the risen Christ. A short climb leads you to this impressive statue atop a small hill. According to old tales, people once believed that the pointed hill was a dormant volcano, though this has never been proven. The statue was erected in the 1970s and has since become an important symbol of faith and hope for the local community. Once you reach the statue, the top offers a stunning, panoramic view where you can not only see the citadella, but also enjoy a beautiful view of the sea. The statue is located near the coastal town of Marsalforn, which is known for its numerous salt pans. For centuries, sea salt has been harvested in traditional salt pans on Gozo. These pans are carved into the limestone coastline and are filled with seawater during the winter months. In the summer, the water evaporates, leaving behind the salt, which is then harvested and sold. This process has remained unchanged for hundreds of years and is passed down from generation to generation. What was once one of the island's most important industrial activities has now become more of a traditional practice and a tourist attraction. Driving along the northern coastal route, you'll come across one of the most unique and smallest beaches on the island. This narrow bay is nestled between towering limestone cliffs, making it a perfect spot for anyone seeking stunning natural beauty and a unique swimming experience. A short walk and a descent via stairs lead you to this hidden gem, where the crystal clear waters make it an excellent location for diving and snorkeling. On the western side of the island, an impressive basilica was built in 1932, making it one of the most remarkable and spiritual places on Gozo. Its origins date back to the 16th century when a small chapel once stood on this site. In 1883, a local woman had a vision of the Virgin Mary, in which she was instructed to pray inside the chapel. Shortly after, miraculous healings were reported, turning this place into a pilgrimage site that now attracts thousands of visitors each year. On the west coast, near the village of Dweyra, lies one of the most unique natural phenomena on the island, a natural inland sea connected to the open sea through a tunnel. This extraordinary feature was formed thousands of years ago when an underground cave collapsed, creating a sheltered lagoon surrounded by towering limestone cliffs. A boat tour allows you to travel through the approximately 80-meter-long tunnel to reach the open sea. In addition to being one of the few saltwater lagoons in Europe, the entire surrounding landscape is breathtaking. The towering cliffs around the village make this a place well worth visiting. At the end of the day, I make one final stop in the northeast of the island, Ramla Bay, a unique beach and the only one in Malta with a striking warm-colored sand. Near this beach, you'll find Calypso Cave. Although it is unfortunately closed to the public, it still offers a stunning view of the beach and the nearby abandoned hotel complex, which was a popular destination in the 1980s. The construction of this hotel was highly controversial from the start, as the local population believed it was too prominent in this picturesque setting. Over time, the hotel fell into decay, and a redevelopment project was proposed in the early 21st century. However, fierce opposition from locals led to the project being scrapped. Today, the abandoned site has become a hotspot for urban explorers and graffiti artists. Though in ruins, it remains a fascinating location and offers one of the best viewpoints of the island's northern coast. Although there is still so much more to discover on Gozo, I leave the island and return to the main island of Malta, preparing for my final day. On my final day, I visit a few remarkable sites before heading to the country's capital. I begin at the Red Tower, located in the western part of the island. This impressive structure was built in 1649 by the Knights of St. John and was later used by the British and even served as an observation post during World War II. The British also constructed their own defensive structures. Between 1870 and 1899, British troops built the Victoria lines, a defensive fortification that stretches across Malta. It is often compared to a miniature version of the Great Wall of China, and looking at some sections, it's easy to see why. The entire line is about 12 kilometers long and follows a natural cliff formation, incorporating various military structures. The fortifications consisted not only of walls but also watchtowers and forts. Walking along these historic walls is a unique experience that immerses you in the country's military history, making it the perfect combination of history, nature, and adventure. East of the Victoria lines, you'll find the town of Mosta, best known for its famous church, the Rotunda of Mosta. Built in the mid-19th century, this church was designed by a Maltese architect who based the structure on the Pantheon in Rome. Its facade features 6 massive columns, and its impressive dome has a diameter of 37 meters, making it the 4th largest unsupported dome in Europe. For a small fee, visitors can enter the church and even access the first level of the dome, offering a stunning view of the interior and a true sense of its immense scale. The dome itself is adorned with intricate geometric patterns and has a design that makes it appear as if it's floating, creating a remarkable visual effect. One of the most famous events in the church's history occurred in 1942 when, during a mass, the dome was struck by 3 German bombs. 2 of them deflected off the dome and landed outside without exploding, while the 3rd pierced through the dome and fell among the congregation. Miraculously, this bomb also failed to detonate, and no one was harmed. Many believers saw this as a divine miracle, and to this day, the event is considered a symbol of faith and divine protection. Beneath the square in front of the church, there are air raid shelters that can also be visited. These shelters provide a fascinating glimpse into what life was like in Mosta during the war, offering insight into how the local population sought refuge and endured the bombings. The final stop of my journey is the stunning capital of Malta, Valletta. Founded in 1566 by the Knights of St. John, the city was built as a massive fortress with thick defensive walls and a strategic location on a narrow peninsula between 2 natural harbors. Valletta is one of the first cities in Europe to be entirely designed with a well-organized street grid and impressive Baroque architecture. It was meant to be not just a fortress, but also a city that symbolized power and prestige. At the heart of the city stands one of Malta's most impressive and historic buildings, the Grand Master's Palace. This palace clearly reflects the power and grandeur of the Knights of St. John during their era. It was once the place where the Grand Masters made crucial decisions on war and peace, and showcased their wealth. Today, part of the palace is open to visitors, though it still serves as the official residence of the President of Malta. The palace's richly decorated corridors, adorned with paintings and centuries-old weapons, lead to many breathtaking halls, including the staterooms, the council chamber, and the throne room. Here, the Grand Masters welcomed important guests and held diplomatic meetings. The most fascinating part of the palace is the armory, which houses thousands of suits of armor, swords, cannons, and firearms from the time of the Knights of St. John. It is one of the best preserved collections of military equipment from the 16th and 17th centuries, featuring many unique pieces that once belonged to the knights and Grand Masters themselves. with its immense history, where diplomats and kings have walked its halls. This palace is undoubtedly one of the most remarkable sights in Valletta. Valletta has much more to offer. Due to its imposing high city walls, the city is full of dramatic elevation changes. Walking along the water, I come across a remarkable futuristic structure, the Baraka lift. Although this is a modern lift today, there was already a lift in this location between 1905 and 1973, providing harbor workers and passengers with quick access to Valletta. The current lift, opened in 2012, takes you to a height of 58 meters in just 23 seconds, where the beautiful Upper Baraka Gardens await. Without a doubt, this is one of the most beautiful and serene spots in the city, offering an incredible view over the Grand Harbor and the three historic cities on the opposite side of the water. It is a green oasis that was created in the 17th century as a private place for the knights and their families. During my visit to the city, I also had the pleasure of experiencing one of Valletta's most colorful events, Carnival. Decorated floats and people in vibrant costumes filled the streets of this fortress city, making it a truly special moment to experience Malta's centuries-old culture. This celebration has been held in Malta since the Middle Ages as a preparation for Lent. It was a wonderful addition to my visit to this impressive city. No matter where you view the city from, with its varied heights, the views are breathtaking. Whether looking at the fortress itself or the fortifications surrounding the city. After a brief visit to an enormous Baroque basilica with an oval dome built in 1855, I take one last walk through a beautifully illuminated Valletta. When the old buildings, churches, and palaces are lit up in the dark, they come alive even more. The city takes on an entirely different atmosphere and charm. I highly recommend taking a peaceful stroll through the city at night. Malta may be a small country, but it is a place with an incredibly rich history, breathtaking landscapes, and a unique culture that you'll hardly find anywhere else. From the ancient fortress city of Valletta to the rugged cliffs of Gozo, from the mysterious temples and cart ruts to picturesque fishing villages. Every place on these islands tells a fascinating story. The Knights of St. John, the Romans, and even the British have all left their mark here, shaping the vibrant atmosphere that still exists today. The magic of this country can be felt everywhere. It's a place you don't just visit, but truly experience, and one that will stay with you long after you leave. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to my channel so you won't miss my next adventure. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.